Welcome back. Mr. Lindsay here with another drawing video for you. A lot of students have asked me about drawing anime type characters, and I know a lot of students already draw that sort of thing. So I thought I would do a little try of some anime characters. Anime is basically Japanese animation, and they have a kind of a distinct style for the characters. Mainly what I notice is the eyes that really stand out. So what I've done is I created a worksheet of my own with some different styles of eyes for characters. Okay, the mouth in different ways, showing different expressions, simple noses. So this is kind of like my go-to page while I'm sketching. I'll use something like this. Okay, and I also have a page where I've created some characters, and I wanted to show you a couple of the characters I created. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one I'll do, we'll kind of draw right in here, and I usually with anime style art, I tend to start with the eyes. You don't have to, it's just my preference. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the eyes on this. So for my eyes, I can start off with the eye shape itself, or the outer shape for the eye. So the inside or the outside of the eye first, it's kind of up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe start with kind of an oval shape for the eye, and then go from there. So this is going to be more of the inside of the eye, and then I'll leave enough space for the other one, and try to make the ovals about the same size. They don't have to be perfect, but get them close. And then on this side, I'm going to start kind of like the outer part, or like the eyelid. So we'll go about here, and then cut this across, kind of overlapping just a little bit. Okay, maybe something like that. And then on this side, do something similar, and then down. Okay, sometimes when I get it going, I'll thicken up some lines a little bit. Maybe we'll go over this and make the line a little thicker, a little more bold. There, something like that. And then for this one, I'll draw a little line for the bottom of the eye, kind of where it runs into the cheek here. And then on to some of the details on the inside. So for this one, usually with anime style eyes, I'll draw a similar shape but smaller on the inside, so a smaller oval, and then I'll draw a little spot where it's going to stay white, kind of like a glare highlight. So let me draw the highlight, so that'll stay white when I fill this in. And then this is the pupil, and then over here we'll do another highlight that stays white, and draw the pupil. Okay, and then when this gets filled in, we leave that little highlight white. Okay, and then later I'll go back and do a little shading. Now for the nose on this one, we'll keep it really simple. Maybe about here we'll just do a little bit of the curve, and then a little bit of the bridge of the nose. Usually with anime characters, I tend to see really simple noses with the eyes being a little more detailed, and same with the mouth, usually fairly simple. So we'll just do like a small triangular shape, maybe a little curve underneath, and we'll keep it like that. The outside of the head, maybe we'll just follow it in about to here, follow it in to about here, finish off where the chin is. Okay, and then I might do a little shading. So I need to find a pencil here, and for shading, a lot of times you'll see a little shadow on the edge of the nose here, maybe on the side here. Okay, the eyes, some shading in here, some shading around here. Okay, something like that. The mouth, I can shade this all in with my pencil, or I could do it with a black marker. Or if I want it to look like there's teeth, I could draw a line here and leave it white. So it's kind of up to you. Maybe this one, I'll just shade it in like the mouth is open and it's darker inside. Okay, there's a lot of choices with that. So anyway, so there's a character. I mean, we have to add ears, of course, and the hair. There's more to do, but I'm going to leave it like that and do a couple more faces because we could probably spend another whole drawing period just on different types of hair for the characters. So maybe I'll come back to that, but let's go ahead and move on and try a different character with a different style of eye. So let's move this one up and maybe draw another one right here. So with this one, I'm going to change the eye shape and make it look a little bit more angry maybe. So changing the expression is a good thing to do sometimes. So let's do this one. Let's do the shape of the eye first and then the inside of the eye second. We'll try it that way. So with this one here, I'm going to draw something like this. Okay, and on this corner, we're going to go in and maybe to about here, and then leave a space and try to make the other one a similar shape, similar size. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, we're just practicing anyways, but get it close. Okay, those look fairly similar. Alright, and then work my way to the inside of the eye. So now I'll draw something like this, and on this side, something like that, similar. Okay, the inside of the eye, same thing. We'll draw a highlight before we do the pupil, so we know that's going to stay white. Highlight, and then the pupil. Those parts stay white, and then when you fill this in, just leave that. Fill this one in. Like I said, leave that little highlight white. Okay, something like that. And then an eyebrow on this one. I'm going to add a little bit of a, almost like a little check mark. Kind of gives that expression a little bit more. Nose, we'll keep this one simple too. Sometimes with anime characters, instead of just drawing this, I've seen several characters that have the bridge of the nose, and then sometimes just a little hint of where the nostrils are. And that's about it. Okay, that simple. We'll make it look kind of angry, so we're going to do a straight line here for the mouth. And we're going to go like that for the top. Maybe look like their mouth is closed so you can see the teeth. Just a little extra detail there. There we go, something like that. And then we would outline the head shape. I'm going to run out of room for the chin, but that's okay. We're just kind of practicing characters. Okay, something like that. I could go back and do a little shading like we did before. Maybe a little bit of shading starting at the top of the eye and working my way down. Sometimes I'll fade it out and leave it really light or white at the bottom. Kind of like there's a shadow just here on the top edge. The nose, I could add a little shading, a little shadow here. A little shadow here. Okay. You could even add some shading on the cheek along the side if you want. So you can switch to pencil for that. Alright, so there's another character with kind of an angry expression. We're going to do another one at least, see how far we get. I'm going to scooch this over and maybe try to get another character on this side of my paper here. There's plenty of room. So let's scooch it over and try one right about here and see how we do. So another type of an eye, there's all sorts of them. Maybe we'll make this one similar to the first one, but make a few changes. Okay, so we'll start off with an oval. Let's do that large oval for the center. Leave a space. Another oval. Okay, and this one we're going to curve the top a little bit more. So we're going to start about here and maybe curve it around and down and flip it out a little at the end. Maybe flip it out a little at the end. Okay, then we'll add a little bit of a line here on this side, another one on this side. Okay, the bottom edge of the eye, something like that. And maybe put some eyelashes on this where it flips out. Make it look like there's some eyelashes on it. Okay, a little extra detail. Maybe we'll add a little bit of an eyelid here and here. Okay. There, a little bit different style of an eye. Okay, and we can then go to the inside, maybe add a little circle again where the highlight's going to be before you draw the pupil. And then we can start coloring that in. There. Different character, different eye. The nose, maybe we'll just do a little bit of a triangle pointing out that way for the nose this time. Different type of a nose. Mouth, maybe we'll just keep it simple and do a little bit of a grin. Alright, new character. Okay, outside of the head. Draw a nice shape here. And then we can go back and do a little shading if we want. Add some shading in here to the top portion, fade it down, do a little shadow on this side maybe and fade it in, a little shadow around the nose. Okay, we could shade on the side of the face if we want, pick a side and do a shadow. There we go, now we have 3 different characters. So, I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do. Maybe we'll do one more here and make a little bit more of a traditional shape for the eye, which to me kind of looks like the shape of a football sometimes. So let's do this eye. Start it about here. And curve in like this. Leave a space. Do the other side. Okay. Then we're going to go about here. About here. Okay, the bottom edge. Alright, looks pretty good. And then inside we'll do, get the eyeball in here. Okay, and then maybe move on to those highlights when we do this. So maybe this one we'll do the pupil about here, and when I color it, I'll just leave a little white spot. Okay, and same on this side. When I fill it in, I'll just leave a little white spot. Alright, there we go. I can thicken up this edge a little bit. Okay, sometimes I'll make my lines a little thicker. Looks nice sometimes if you play around with how thick or thin the lines are so they don't all look too much alike. Nose, maybe this one will do a line down the middle with a little triangle. Okay, different type of nose. And then mouth, we'll give this one a smile. Maybe it's same as the other, but we'll just go like that when we do the grin. Make it look a little different. Okay, and then outside of the head, you can even angle things off a little bit instead of curving it so much. Sometimes I'll do things like that and then angle it in. Alright, new character, different type of eye, nose a little different. Change a few things and you have a different character, a little shading in the eyes. Okay, and then don't forget, I mean, we would really add ears later. We could add ears here, hair, all sorts of other things. So maybe I'll do kind of part of an ear so you can see where it might go. Part of an ear. Okay, same with this character. I could draw like the beginning of where the ear would be. So you can see that. And then hairstyles, there's so many you could do, but typically on these types of characters I see a lot that start off with some sort of a hair kind of spiking in to here. I don't know, maybe I'll try it on this one a little bit. Get a little bit of the hair on this one to show you. So might see a little of the side of the hair here. Okay, a little bit of the side of the hair here. Sometimes I'll put a few bumps so it doesn't look too smooth. Can't quite fit the top, but you can imagine there'd be hair up in here. And then right on the forehead, a lot of times you see things like this. Okay, maybe on this side of the head we switch directions. There's a good outline for the hair. Okay, and then more hair would be up on top where I ran out of space. But I see a lot of that in anime style characters for the hair. Something kind of spiky like this across, and it might have a few bumps around the top. Okay, longer hair. I could add some hair down here if I want. Okay, so maybe this one has some hair along the bottom too, under the ear. Now it looks like my character has longer hair, so those are all some options, but there's a lot of different ways to make the character's hair. I mean, you can make it really long, leave it short. This is sort of in between, but anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that little tutorial and have some fun trying some characters of your own.